Hello traders, very good morning and welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 226 and before I share today's analysis, I'd just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay. So let me just quickly share my screen and let's look at the potential option development paths and study what happened yesterday and are there any option paths which we can take today for intraday trade perspective. Okay. So first of all, this is the hourly chart which currently I'm showcasing and more or less this is the balance from which I just added from the 3rd of December till the break which came, that is on the 21st of December. Okay, so that's about what 17 or 20, 18 days. Okay, so what we seen in those, what we are seeing in the auction or how the auction is developed is it is just rising. It is just rising. See some sort of balancing. Then again we see a gap up. Again we saw some sort of balancing, and then the buying which happened. So basically the buying which came in this balance, that's where sellers stepped in and they shook out the buyers which were present in this balance. Then there is also one more balance here, and they ultimately, the buyers came in around this particular balance high. So this was the previous balance high, and that's where buyers have stepped in, and now they are again coming and taking the auction higher. Okay, so overall, this is how the auction is developed. So basically this notifies that from the starting of December, these were all weak players, or you can say laggards, wherein they are just looking at the price, or price based traders were just looking and they're just taking the auction higher. Secondly, the auction which came in last 2 days. So let me first of all delete this. Let me add the data points. So what I've done is I have started a new auction from 22nd of December, and we are in a sort of a 2 day balance. Just a second. Okay. So this is the 2 day balance, and this is the overall range. Okay, so this is the 2 day balance, and this is the another volume profile, or dynamic or composite volume profile from 3rd of December till to 19th or 17th, or that Friday is the day. Okay, so if you look at this, if you compare this to profile, what we clearly observe is where the auction halted yesterday. Okay, it halted around the value area high of the bigger balance. Okay, so also this is a single print zone from the market profile chart. So I shared not yesterday but on 22nd of December the video which I created, that odds are higher that this particular single print will be getting cleared. Okay, so that's what happened yesterday. I was not able to connect yesterday due to some technical issues, but yesterday what has happened is the entire auction is created within this single print. It clearly cleared the anomalies, and now it is again seeing continuation to the higher side. Okay, while this particular auction was getting developed, this auction is still not a very good, I would say, not a confidence auction. It's not with high confidence. Okay, so what I mean by that, the reason why I'm saying that it is not with very good confidence is, if you study this level, so exactly at previous day's high, that's where again buyers came in and they took the auction higher. So there is one anomaly. So there is one data point which is notifying that weak players were actually currently present in the auction development path. Second level which I'm trying to share you is this particular halfback. At the same level again buyers stepped in and then they take the auction again higher. Thirdly, we have got one more halfback. Okay, so these are the three levels which clearly is giving me a hint that the auction which happened yesterday was more like a sort of a stop hunting move. Uh, and now today, what I'm expecting is some sort of balancing and at least to clear the first, second, and third, these three anomalies. Okay. So I'm not expecting any continuation to the upside. What I'm expecting is just sideways development. Okay. So those are some of the observations which I was actually looking yesterday, and I was actually planning to take a trade to go short with the target of the yesterday's low, but as I was seeing this anomalies getting developed, I said that it's a trending day, so it's better to avoid stepping in front of the trend, and sometimes trend is your friend. So I did not trade yesterday anything. I was just observing, how the auction is getting developed. Okay. So some of the anomalies. Second thing, what we see clearly is we have a good excess, around the lows. Not a very good excess around the highs. Okay, we have a single print here, and there are certain anomalies. Overall structure is pretty jagged. It's pretty anomalies. So what I'm expecting today is the auction to open around the yesterday's close, uh, see some sort of rejection, clear all these anomalies, see some sort of buying activity coming from the single print zone, and again take the auction higher. Okay, so this is the first auction development path which I'm anticipating. Second auction development path is it does not happen. The single print is again getting absorbed, and we see some balancing, and then we see continuation to the downside. This is the second auction development path. The third auction development path, wherein the odds are much higher, is I'm just expecting a balancing. Okay, just one balance today. So these are the three auction development paths which I'm looking at to happen, develop today. Okay, so we might be seeing a flat opening. So path number one, path number two, and path number three. So I'll be looking that path number three is the one which is more, getting developed. And apart from that, if you see from the daily chart, so this was a pretty massive, or what Jim Dalton say, this is a non-linear break. Okay, so this was a non-linear break, and then we are again the auction is continuing to the upper side. So this is to shake out the weak players, and again the buyers are stepping in. So today we need to see whether we are seeing continuation or not. But we are having a sort of one-time frame since last 2 days. But with the increase in price, the volumes are not so supportive. Okay, so we are still, I think, 2 minutes away before the auction develops or auction opens. So I'm getting a few comments from Nitish. Yeah, Nitish, yeah. So short for B low, that did not happen. Yeah. So yeah. So there are some anomalies. So let's see which one plays out today, and based on that we can take the trades. I think there is also an HVN here, one HVN here. So multiple HVNs. One of this HVN was tagged. Yeah. Okay. So we will see, and overall from the cumulative delta, it's pretty obvious that buyers were in control. So today, let's see whether the buyers continue or whether sellers take in charge and they reverse the auction. Okay. So the auction will open in next 40 seconds. In the meantime, guys, if you have got any comments, yeah, feel free to use the live chat, or else let's just wait and observe where the market opens, and based on that, we'll be taking the trades. Okay, so we are just 5 seconds to go. So let's see which way the auction opens. I'll be just going on mute. Just a second. Okay. So we have a good gap up opening. So let me delete all these anomalies. We have a gap up opening. Okay, so this is the single print zone which is acting as the level of support. There are some trapped sellers, so let's see whether this particular gap gets filled or not. Okay, so one reference is the high of yesterday. Second reference is this single print zone where again buyers are stepping in. So if the low is not tagged, odds are higher that we will be clearing this clustered highs. So what I mean by clustered highs, these are the clustered highs where stops are getting built. Okay, so currently the auction is still showing high confidence buying. The single print zone is acting as the level of support for the moment. Auction is still above VWAP. Volumes are okay-ish, 2700, 2800. Okay, so there are trapped sellers, but not so great. 135 contracts. The high is weaker, so let's see some push up. Let's see furthermore continuation to the upside. So I'm not seeing any trade location for the moment, but right now the low is, let me just check the HVN, and there is this HVN, and this will be around the POC. Yes, this is around the POC. So good wick is getting formed. Just jump to the order flow chart. Overall delta is flat. This is a 1 minute chart. Overall delta is flat, but it's more over on the positive side. It's just tagging VWAP and going higher, tagging VWAP and going higher. So I'm expecting a balance getting formed. If that balance is not getting formed, then it means that 3 days buyers have came in. There will be a sort of a prominent gap, and odds are higher that if this gap is intact, it will be getting filled in coming days. But right now I'm waiting for this gap to get filled. I'm waiting for, first of all, the high to get tagged, and then see continuation to the downside. Tag, enter within yesterday's range, see whether buyers are coming in. If they are strong enough, and then that is when I'll be seeing an opportunity for taking a long trade. Also, today is 24th, tomorrow is holiday. Today is also expiry. So yeah, so this high is getting tagged now. So expect a lot of choppiness action today, because then the next auction will develop on the coming Monday, which is, just a second, what is the date? 28th of December. Again, next Friday also we have a holiday, 1st of January, New Year. So yeah, so now continuation to the higher side. See, let it go higher. Let it go higher. So 5,000 contracts traded, not such big volume with the buying activity which is happening. So high is still weaker. Expect one more push to the upside. Okay, so first 5 minutes have been cleared. 5,600 contracts. Delta is positive. So we are seeing a sort of follow through or continuation. Now I'm expecting sellers to step in and then take the entire auction. down. So let's see whether that happens or not. Okay, so we have an HVN here, which is above the POC. Delta is increasing, cumulative delta positive. So buyers are in control. But now I'm waiting for sellers to step in, because if you study this price action, this is where, so this high is also weaker because it's exactly at this particular period high. So expect the high to be get cleared, and I'm expecting sellers to step in. So this was the half back level which has been cleared. We have got one more half back level here, so there are also two more anomalies. So right now the high is weaker, the low is at a single print zone. This is also weaker, wherein a few tick away where again buyers step in. Yeah, so both the high and low are weaker. So I'll be avoiding to trade anything right now. I'm not seeing any good trade location. But from this price action perspective, I'm expecting sellers to step in now. If we see lack of selling activity, that means the selling which came in right from 13,761. So all this selling was weak. Okay. So let me merge this. Okay, so I'm expecting one more push to the upside. The high is still weaker. From order flow chart is also weaker. But if you see, overall tempo is slowing down. So 5,600 contracts, we are just 2,400, 2,500 contracts. So the high is, yeah, the high is getting tagged. Let it continue higher. So 2 minutes left for the current 5-minute candle to close, or the current auction to close. So there is a lot of momentum buying seen, lack of momentum selling. So that's one data point which I wanted to share. So high is getting furthermore tagged. Let it continue. Don't fight against this trend. Don't be against the trend. Let it go higher. Yeah, Nitish, you are correct. It was emotional selling. So today we need to observe whether sellers do step in or not. And in trading and emotions, so mixing emotions with trading is a very dangerous mixture. You know, yeah, so high is still weaker. I'm expecting it to go further, continue to the upside, but the tempo is slowing down. Volumes are also slowing down, so not a good sign. Some sort of selling activity is seen. Sellers are stepping in. There is some divergence in delta. Yeah, so let's see. So this weaker high has been tagged. High is still weaker. Yeah, it's gone pushed up again higher. 2 and 42. So let's see whether we see further push to the upside. Okay, so the current auction has closed, and 5,600 to 6,300. So good increase in volume, good follow through. So now sellers are stepping in. So the current POC is around this level. So this is where maximum sellers are present, and this is the POC. So we might expect this POC to be tagged. So let's see whether that happens or not. 13674 is the POC. Yeah, this area is some of the POC. So let me just split this. Yeah. So let it chop. Currently the market is showing high confidence buying. Let it chop. I'm seeing some sort of exhaustion from the buyers. So I'm expecting it to at least touch the half back and see if we get a bounce back or not. But overall tempo is slowing down. Volumes have increased in the previous candle, but if you see in the delta again, there is a divergence seen. So just simply wait and watch. That is what I'm looking at. We are tagging the high again. Again, now the high is weaker. So yeah, high is getting weaker now. So now I'll observe whether it reaches the POC or not. So I'm expecting some sort of selling activity, some choppiness action, then a push to the upside. So let's see whether that happens or not. So again, sellers are stepping in. Okay, so good choppiness action is seen. High is weaker. Sellers are trying to, take charge, but absorption of supply is going on. So now the high will be tagged. Yeah, it is getting tagged. So 5600 to 6300 to 4000. Okay. So we are seeing continuation or follow through from the buyers. So let it continue higher. Now my destination is the POC. So this is what I was talking about previously, that I'm looking for that sharp up move, which has been seen currently. Yeah, delta is increasing, and we also have an HVN here. So I'll be seeing whether we see some sort of reversal around 13,742 or 13,745. It's still 30 points away. So let's see whether that happens or not. But now we have entered the range where sellers should be coming in. Sellers should be stepping in. There is one more half back level here, 13,730. We are 15 points away from that. So 162 trapped buyers and 135 trapped sellers around the highs and around the lows. So some sort of selling activity seen. Sellers are stepping in. Okay, so let it chop. I'm not seeing any trades right now. What is the current range? This is 69 points range. Pretty good range in the initial balance or right in the A period. So I'll be looking at the delta. Delta is pretty positive. Absorption of supply is going on. Doji candle is formed. We have a hammer candle. Now a sort of an indecisive candle is getting formed. So the volumes are drying out. So 5,000, 6,000, 4,000, and right now we are just around 1,000 volume. Okay, so sellers are stepping in. So again, no trade location for the moment. We're just looking at the delta. So the POC has shifted here. So this is where I'll expect some sort of again buyers to step in, and I'll be seeing whether I'll be observing the tempo. Okay, so again doji candle is getting formed. We have 34 seconds to go. So the POC is tagged, current developing POC. Okay, so 5600, 6300, 4000, 2300. Yeah, so now there is a divergence seen in delta. This does not mean you should short now. Some absorption of supply is going on. So currently I'm not seeing any clarity in terms of any intraday trades. I'll be just staying away. So I'm expecting actually buyers to step in and again tag the high, because we have tagged the POC. This is the POC level, and this is where buyers are there. I'm waiting for buyers. Yeah, that's what the option is getting developed. Buyers to come in and see whether they are tagging the high or not. So there is a shift in delta, but I think when this candle closes, that's where we will know. From this chart, we are going sideways. Nothing much has changed. Here also we are increasing. I'm expecting this HVN to get tagged. Okay, we are seeing some sort of acceptance around VWAP. Sellers are stepping in. Okay, some choppiness action, sellers are stepping in, but all that absorption is going on. All that supply is getting absorbed. Okay, so these are the, I would say, areas or the time when maximum retail traders like us, especially like us, we make a lot of mistakes, because some of the indicators would be saying go long, some of them will be saying go short. Some people, they will be doing hedging, that they will be selling 750 calls and selling 600 puts and seeing that this is the range. Let me just gather the premium and whatnot. But I am just staying away from all that. I'm not seeing any confidence or any trades. Earlier, the auction was in control by buyers when sellers stepped in. Now, sellers are trying to take the auction down. And these are the areas where there are stacked buyers. So, yeah, I'm expecting a sort of reversal somewhere around the stacked buying or around the VWAP. Okay, so it's a high risk trading zone right now. So it's a very bad risk. So there was a webinar by Jim Dalton, good risk versus bad risk, in trading. So I urge you to, just go through that webinar, and he explains about risks and decision making, which is pretty awesome. So right now I'm seeing very high risk trades, so better to avoid, not to trade at all. So earlier it looked that the sellers are winning. Now that all is getting absorbed, and we are now going sideways. So if you see, the delta is still positive, but there is slight reduction in it. So again, buyers are stepping in. So who is buying here and who is selling here? That is the question which you have to ask yourself if you want to take a trade. I would say not if, but before you take a trade, this is the question which you have to ask yourself. Okay. So 2500 to 1500. So tempo is slowing down, volumes are slowing down, just developing sideways, and bump, the high is getting tagged, the stop losses are getting hit. Okay. So this was what I was talking about, the mistakes. Yeah. So earlier it looked like the sellers are winning and we should go, but now the reverse, the high has been tagged. We should see continuation to the upside, at least tagging the POC of 21st of December. Okay, so what I'm expecting is at least continuation to the POC and one of the HVN, and see whether we see some sort of reversal or not. But right now, the low is weaker, the weaker high has been cleared out. So expect some sort of exhaustion, and that's when, if you see spot the exhaustion, that's where you can take a short trade targeting the today's low. Okay, we also have this gap. So today, from trade planning or intraday trade, I'll be looking to take a short trade because current market generated information is telling that the tempo is slowing down despite of buyers stepping in. Volumes are also slowing down with increased in price. Plus yesterday with increase in price, and there are multiple anomalies in the yesterday's auction. So based on those data points is where I'm more focused on shorting the market. But if something changes, then I might also change my decision. Okay. So yeah, I think with that we have already discussed for 36 minutes. So with that, let me end the today's session and wishing you all Merry Christmas, and let's catch up on coming Monday, that is on 28th of December, and see how the auction develops. Okay. Till then, have